Today, we need to talk about time and regret. I know it's a sensitive subject. We all have regrets, including myself. Things that we wish we had done, opportunities that we've missed. But we can't let those regrets interfere with our present and our future. This is where a lot of people get really depressed and anxious. I was one of those people once upon a time. Society puts a lot of pressure on us to accomplish different things at different times in our lives. Depending on what culture you're in, you're expected to achieve certain milestones at certain ages in your life. And sometimes when we don't complete those milestones, depending on where we live, it could be very hard to exist in society. And that's understandable. The one thing that you have to understand, no day is granted to anybody. Tomorrow is never promised. So if you have missed an opportunity and you have a chance to pick it up again, do it. Don't think about how old you are. Don't think about whether or not you're going to be able to get through it. If you still have the desire for it, you should go for it. See, the difference between regular folks and people who are super successful is the fact that they take advantage of opportunities. I think that's one of the major differences. You get caught up in this so-called matrix and you're stuck in the rat race, like a hamster on the wheel. And for some people, it's okay to have a regular routine all the time, as long as you're happy. But there's a handful of us that want just a little bit more. And this is where the procrastination comes in. You're putting off. And a lot of people procrastinate for the simple fact that they are terrified as to whether or not they're going to be able to accomplish their goal. They're afraid of failing. Where is it written every time that you try something you have to succeed? Who told you that? If you have a true spiritual connection with your Creator, you know for a fact that you have to fail before you achieve. There are lessons in failure. When you fail, you learn different things, different ways of handling difficult situations. And also, it could be an issue of timing. That particular thing that you're working on, maybe the universe is not ready for you to have it yet because they don't feel that you're mentally or emotionally equipped to handle the responsibility. See, we don't think about that. We see the brass ring, but we don't know how heavy it is. We just want to get it. So sometimes we have to go through a little something to kind of build up our conditioning before we can handle that special opportunity. And when we do, we have to treat it gently. There are a lot of people in this world that have done nothing but regret. And unfortunately, when they get older, they have more regrets to the point where they can't even function. They can't even think straight. And this is where the mental illness kicks in. 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All they think about is what they don't have. And a lot of regrets may not be personal. It could be due to external factors that are beyond their control. For instance, they could miss a loved one who's passed on. I have a lot of loved ones that I miss, and I think about them. But we have to accept the fact that when there's life, there's death. We have to accept the fact that these things may happen. I'm going to tell you a little story about somebody that I used to know. This gentleman was pretty nice, but he was overly attached to his parents. Overly attached to his parents to the point where he never could get married, never could get involved in relationships, and definitely didn't have children. Why he was so overly attached, I don't know. Then one day, one of his parents passed away. And now he has to deal with another parent who is really, really ill, which means that day is going to come before that parent passes away. And I remember having a conversation with him one day, which really was weird in my book. And I knew in my mind that he really needed help. He wholeheartedly believed that his parents should have lived past the age of 100, 115 years old, according to the science that he read. There's no guarantee that anybody's going to live to see the day of tomorrow. I learned at an early age you don't know how long your parents are going to be on this earth. I lost my mother when I was 19, and I lost my father 2 years ago. And it hurts because you miss their physical presence. But the thing is if you know anything about life in the world, everybody is going to die. You're going to die, I'm going to die. And if you have that wisdom, that's a good thing, because that will help you value the time that you have on this earth. But there are some people that are so overly attached to people that they don't want to accept reality. And the truth is, I believe that they really do miss that person. They don't want to lose that person. But it's not because they're going to miss them. It's because they feel that they're ill-equipped to be on their own and take care of themselves. That's the real reason why they're overly attached to these people. But there's a time that you're going to be by yourself. And I've mentioned this in many videos and some of my audios, that there's going to be a time it's just going to be you and your Creator. And what are you going to do? See, you were created as an individual person. Even though you came from your parents, you're not your parents. And I mentioned this in another video as well. So be prepared to live a life for yourself. And whatever missed opportunities there were that you can't go back and get, you can't dwell on them. Because it's going to take up even more of your time. More time that you don't even have to have, but was given to you. Just saying.